This week's Torah portion, Vayigash, brings us to the moment when Joseph finally tells his brothers who he is. They've come to Egypt looking for food during the famine, and they're standing in front of this powerful official who controls their fate. They do not realize that the person they're speaking to is their brother. Of course, Joseph knows that it's them. What's taken time is not figuring out who he is, but figuring out how he can hold together all the versions of himself that now exist. Joseph is no longer the younger brother who was sold and sent away. And he's also not just the Egyptian leader that he's become. And when Joseph finally says, Ani Yosef, I am Joseph, he isn't going back to who he was, and he also isn't rejecting who he's become. He's letting those identities meet. He's saying, this is my story, all of it. And that's what makes this moment honest. And that's where this portion meets us. Months ago at the high holidays, many of us named who we were trying to be. We spoke about changes we wanted to make, values we want to live by, and ways that we hope that we would show up differently in our lives. A few months later, most of us haven't abandoned those intentions, but we're living with more than one version of ourselves at the same time. There's the person we are in daily routines, the person we are under pressure when we're fatigued, and the person we hope to be when we stood in synagogue at Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The work isn't choosing one and discarding the others. The work is noticing whether these identities are still in conversation or whether they've drifted so far apart that we no longer recognize the gap. Joseph's Ani Yosef, his reveal, doesn't fix the family story, but it makes a different future possible because it's grounded in truth and continuity. And as we come to the end of our secular year, Jewish time doesn't ask us to reinvent ourselves. Instead, it asks us to take an honest look at the selves that we're already carrying, where they're aligned, where their intention, and whether we're letting them speak to one another again. I wanted to let you know that I'm taking a little bit of time off in the next couple weeks, so I will not be able to make a video. But I am going to forward some Divrei Torah from some of the scholars I like to learn with at a trans-denominational organization based out of New York called Hadar. Now, these teachers do not know that they are going to be our guest columnists, but I will be learning from them along with you. And then I hope we can discuss some of their teachings and insights when we meet on the Shabbatot in between over some wine, cheese, and oneg. In January and February, we have a lot of exciting events. Our next Learn and Burn with a challah bake, our next From Matzah to Modernity, our next home-hosted Shabbat, our next Shabbat around the table, that big potluck dinner. So please keep your eye on the e-news. For all who celebrate Christmas, I'm wishing you a meaningful holiday and wishing all of us a happy 2026. May it be a year of blessing and peace.